Hi kids, let us start our today's session. Today we are going to take one of the important topics of the grammar, especially for the 10th class students. This is very important. It can be useful in your discourse construction. It's a type of a complex sentence. It's a combination of two sentences. So uh, it's it is used widely while writing the discourses. Generally, in general communication also it is very useful. So after knowing the importance of this, let us know how to write it and what is the topic is. Today's topic is, and today's topic we are going to have relative clauses. So let us know something more about relative clauses, how to use them, what are the different punctuation marks to be used while using the relative clause, and what are the types of relative clause. All these things we will discuss in today's class. Welcome to English Hub. Children, I told you that today we are going to learn about relative clauses. Relative clauses are nothing but adjective clauses. That is what you can see on the screen. And the types of adjective clauses, we are going to learn more about these things. So let us discuss brief, very illustratively, one by one. Let us know what is an adjective clause first, and I would like to take the first one. Learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to defining relative clauses, define non-relative clauses, non-defining relative clauses, explain punctuation rules with the defining and non-defining relative clauses, mention the uses of WH words. So these are the objectives of our today's lesson. You will be able to learn all these things after completion of this lesson. You might be wondering, what are the types of an adjective clause? What are the types of an adjective clause? How many types are there? Yeah, let us crack it. Let us know about the relative clauses. So here you can see these are the types of adjective clauses. Adjective clauses are nothing but relative clauses. There are two kinds of adjective clauses. They are non-defining. That means it can also be said as non-essential clause. Defining, we can also call it as essential clause. So we have two types of adjective clause or relative clause in English, that is non-defining clause and defining clause. Defining will also be called as non-essential clause. Non-defining is also called as non-essential clause, and defining is called as essential clause. So then you will get the question, this question. What is this question? So what is a noun, a non-defining clause? Let us see what is a non-defining clause. Non-defining or non-essential clause, an adjective clause that is non-essential to the basic meaning of a sentence. Non-defining clause add extra information about the somebody or something which could be left out, and the sentence would still make sense. This extra information is separated from the main clause by comma. all these things are very important to you must remember these things. An adjective class, which we call it as non-essential, that will give you an extra information, or an additional information, or non-essential information, extra information, non some extra information which is not related, which is related to the subject, but it gives an extra information. If you leave out that information, there will be no children. You might have understood now what is a non-defining or non-essential class. It is an adjective class that is non-essential to the basic meaning of a sentence. Non-defining class add extra information. You remember that it adds only an extra information, not an important information about the subject, somebody or something which could be left out. We can leave that part. If you leave that part, there will be no problem to the sentence. The meaning will remain the same. The sentence will be complete sense. So such kind of clauses are called non-defining or non-essential clauses. So here, for example, we have given an example: the desk in the corner which is covered in books is mine. You can see here the underlined part which is in blue color, that is a non-defining class because it gives an extra information only. That's not the important information. If you leave out that underlined part, there, even though you leave out that, there will be meaning, there will be a sense. The sentence conveys a meaning even though you leave out that underlined part. So the underlined part is non-defining class. For example, the desk in the corner is mine. You can simply say the desk in the corner is mine. But here, what is the underlined part is doing? It adds an extra information to the subject. So the desk which is covered with books, the part which is underlined and with blue letters, that gives an extra information only. It adds some extra information to the sentence. We don't need information to understand the sentence. The desk in the corner is good sentence on its own. We still know which desk is referred to, like that. So here non-defining or non-essential clauses, some examples being given here. Likewise, John, who is sitting on the right is left-handed. Again, you can see here the underlined part, who is sitting on my right, it gives an extra information only. Simply we can read John is a left-handed batsman. Left-handed, for example, John is left-handed. It makes a sense. It makes a complete sense on its own. But when you add who is sitting on my right, it gives only an extra information. Okay. Likewise, international students who pay high tuition often want to skip levels in the program. The next one, the film which was shot in Mexico has won an Oscar. Likewise, we can identify a non-defining class. So here non-defining or non-essential classes, when we are using these things with the non-defining classes. For example, look here, non-defining classes can be introduced by expressions like all of, many of, plus relative pronoun. You see here, all of, any of, few of, both of, each of, either of, half of, many of, most of, much of, and also none of, one of, two of, etc., etc., with a combination of whom plus which. So whom and which are persons or things. Whom refers to the persons, which refers to things. So these combinations can be used in the non-defining class. Non-defining class or non-essential class. For example, here you can see there are a lot of people at the party, many of whom I had known for years. Here you can see a letter in pink, pink words in pink are non-defining relative class. Many of whom, relative pronoun whom has been used here with many of. So here again, next example, he was carrying his belongings. He was carrying his belongings, many of which were broken. That means many of which is a relative pronoun which is used here to connect two sentences. So here it is called as non-defining relative class. So remember, so here some important points been given. Remember these things while learning the knowing these adjective clauses. Adjective class, non-essential adjective clauses should not begin with that. Remember that. And we can't omit the relatives. Relative pronouns means WH words. For example, here you see, I liked Toy Story, which I have seen recently. Not that, no emission. Here we should not use that, and which should not be omitted. Like Shakespeare, who you just mentioned is the most famous British playwright. Not that. Here we have not used that, and whom, the relative pronoun should not be omitted. And then again, I have found my keys which I had been looking for. Here again we are not using that, and we are not omitting WH word which. So like this we can use in non-essential adjective clauses. So then what about what is a defining class? Let us see defining class. Defining class or essential class, and adjective class that is essential to the basic meaning of a sentence. They define, gives essential information, and that means important information to the part about a general term or an expression. Essential adjective class are not set off by commas. Earlier you have seen that the class non-defining class has been separated by comma, but here we should not use comma. For example, the student who missed the test yesterday needed to talk to the teacher. Here what is this? The word which is underlined and which is given in blue color, it is an essential part of the sentence. It is an important part of the sentence. Without this part, the sentence would not make a sense. For example, let us see, the students needed to talk to the teacher. If you read like that, if you omit that underlined part, what happens here? The sense will not be complete. It will not give the complete sense. When you add that sentence, that sentence to the relative class to that sentence, it makes a sense. Like that, the students who missed the test yesterday need to talk to the teacher. So like that, it gives an important information. Whenever a sentence, there are many students, but only a small group of them miss the test. These are the students who need to talk to the teacher. Like that, defining or essential class. More examples been given here. The person who is sitting on my right is left-handed. The gentleman who dropped his wallet will come back for it. My brother who lives in Alaska works as a trapper and hunter. The package that arrived this morning on the desk. We really enjoy the tour that we took. People who live in glass houses should not throw stones. Like this, these are some of the examples for defining clauses. Remember some of the important things about the defining relative class. While using it, you should remember that generally essential adjective class should not begin with which. You can omit who, you can omit who, whom, when, and that when they are not the subject of the relative clauses. So that is the important thing. See here, the house that or in which I was born in is gone. You can omit that. You can simply say the house I was born in is gone. Here what did we do? We can omit that and WH words. WH word which. Similarly, the man I spoke to was very friendly. We can here add, if you want to add, the man who I spoke to was very friendly. Otherwise, the man that I spoke to was very friendly. We can also write this same sentence as the man to whom I spoke to was very friendly. Now let us know which WH word will I use where in an adjective class. Where should I use? There are many WH words. What, where, when, which. Such kind of words are there. So where should I use those things? Let's know those things here. Use who when the subject is a person. Who can be used when the subject is a person. For example, here my sister who is a vegetarian ordered a salad. Here why did we use who? Who relates or refers to the subject. Who is the subject here? My sister. Subject sister. Sister is a person. So that's why we have used who. So when the subject is person, we can use who. The man who came in the late is the boss. Like that. Again, it talks about a person. That's why we have used here who. In the third, Peter, who nobody had met before, arrived late. Again, we are talking about a person. Which person? The name of the person here is Peter. Means here we are talking about a person. Then use of whom when the object is a person. When should we use whom? Here whom can be used when the object is a person. Who can be used when the subject is a person. Whom can be used when the object is a person. For example, Peter, whom nobody had met before, arrived late in a formal way. Second sentence, she is the girl whom I met last night. In a formal way, we can say that. Similarly, in the third sentence, you can see she is the girl who or that I met last night. Or we can also say the same sentence, she is the girl I met last night in informal way. So here, see here, use of that or which. Let us see when to use that and which. When the subject is a thing, we can use these things, that or which. when we are referring to when we are referring to a thing, we can use that or which. For example, here, first look at the first sentence. It sit at the desk that faces. I sit at the desk that I faces the window. I sit at the desk that faces the window. Or we can also say, we can also write the sentence like, I sit at the desk which faces the window. Here we have used that and which. Both can be used because it is a thing. We are referring to the thing. Which thing we are referring here in the particular sentence? We are referring to the desk. So desk is a thing. That's why we have used that and which. Here in the next one, I have finished that book that you lent me. That book. Otherwise, we can also say it as, I have finished the book you have lent me. We can omit that. Otherwise, we can also say, I have finished the book which you have lent me, in a formal way. So like this, we can use that and which. Use of whose. WH word, one of the WH word, whose. When to use whose? Now let us see this. To show that something belongs to somebody. Is it clear? I am going to read it again. To show that something belongs to somebody. When we want to refer a thing that belongs to somebody, we can use this. For example, he helped a woman whose car had broken down. Like that. In the second one, they are the people whose house was burgled. Lucy, whose car had broken down, did not go. Here, you have to understand one thing. Whose is not usually used to refer to a thing, of which is usually used instead. Yes, here reading a book. He is reading a book. He is reading a book, the name of which I can never remember. Here, when we are using, when you want to refer a thing, you can say which. But it is more natural to say, he is reading that book, I never remember its name. Simply we can say, instead of using which, we can simply say, he is reading that book, I can never remember its name. Like that. So relative class and relative prepositions. Here see some more information about relative classes and prepositions. In spoken English, a preposition in a relative class is usually placed at the end of the class, and the relative pronoun is omitted. Yes, remember that. A more formal alternative is to put the preposition after the relative pronoun. Yes, this is one of the important thing in using the relative pronoun. Yes, see here, for example, when the object is a person, how should we write? The man I spoke to was very friendly. Or else we can also say the same sentence in this manner. The man who or that I spoke to was very friendly. Yes. And we can also say the same sentence in this manner. The man to whom I spoke was very friendly. This is the formal way. So when the object is a thing, we can say like this. Here let us take a thing as an object. The house I was born in is gone. Or else we can also say this same sentence like this: the house that I was born in is gone. We can also say the same sentence in this way: the house in which I was born is gone. It's a formal way of saying. So use of when and that. Here you can see when and that can be used in this way. When is used to show the time. Simply you can understand that when we are talking about the WH word when, it is talking about the time. So here, when I will never forget that day when I met my best friend. Otherwise you can use also that in place of when. Can you remember a time when you didn't worry about the future? So such kind of examples. Note, when can also be omitted when defining relative clauses. So that is an important point here. The use of where. Let us see how can we use where. Where is used to refer a place. Where is used to refer a place. This is the hotel where we are staying next weekend. So here where means where is referring to the hotel here. So hotel is a place. That's why we have used where. And similarly, the sentence, the city where my sister is living is interesting. And can you remember a place where you can meet someone very important to you, like this. Now let us see use of why. Where to use, when to use why. Why is used to refer a reason. Yes, you understand, it's only refer to a reason. This is the reason why we are staying next weekend. Okay, then next sentence: do you know the sub- subterfuge is why they are leaving? And next one, can you remember a reason why you didn't choose a different career? So like that we can use to tell the reason. Group work. Here what you have to do is to work together to expand the following story by using as many non-defining relative clauses as you can. Feel free to make a funny story. So what you have to do, students, you have to group together. You can discuss. You take some time. I am going to give a funny story. You have to divide the sentences. You have to remake the sentences by non-defining relative clauses by using a non-defining relative. This is the story. Let me read the story here. A man called Peter took an aeroplane to New York to visit his sister. When he arrived at the airport, an old man asked him a question. Peter gave a short reply, and the man invited him for a drink. Peter accepted, and after he had the drink, caught the aeroplane to New York. When he got to his sister's apartment, his sister invited him into the living room. As he entered the room, he was surprised to see the same man. It is a very funny story. If you can understand, you can enjoy the story. You will laugh a lot. If you don't get, pause the video and read the story once again. You can understand it. It is been given very simple in a simple language. So what you have to do is to rewrite the sentences using non-defining relative clauses. Take your time and write down. Then pair work. Complete the sentences of the following slide with whose, who, which, or where. Now let us see. This is the exercise number 1. Here what you have to do, you have to use where, whose, who, which, and where, or where. So these things you have to use here, WH words. For example, first example I will read out. Dublin dash is the capital of Ireland, is my favorite city. Can you guess what WH word can be used here? Dublin, which is, why which? Not why, which means Dublin is a place. When we are referring to a place, we can use which. We have to use which. So like that. Amelia dash mother is from Shanghai. Sorry, Amelia dash mother is from Shanghai, speaks English and Chinese fluently. What what can be taken here? Amelia. It talks about a person. When we are talking about a person, what can be taken? It when we are talking about a person, we have to use who. Yes, Amelia whose mother. Here mother it is used in an objective way. That's why whose mother is from Shanghai. Like that. Next, this smartphone I bought last week takes great photos. What should be used? This smartphone, which or that, because we are referring to a thing here. Smartphone is a thing. That's why we can write either which or that. Buckingham Palace dash the Queen of England lives is in the center of London. So here we are referring to a place. So what can be used? Where. Buckingham Palace, where the Queen of England lives, is in the center of England. Ferraris dash are made in Italy, are very expensive. What is Ferraris? It's a thing. Ferraris, which are, we can use which here. Similarly, in other examples you can do it on your own. You go through it. We are running out of the time. So already we have taken half an hour time. Answer the next questions also. There are some example exercises are there. You have to do the pair work. There is an exercise number 2. Similarly, what you have to do, you have to remake the sentences into relative clauses. So these are the exercises I will explain. I will give. You can take the screenshots. Otherwise, then you can make it later evaluation. After going through this lesson, you have come to know you are now able to defining relative clause and non-defining relative clauses also. Explain the punctuation rules with the defining and non-defining rule relative clauses. You can also mention the uses of who and whom, that such kind of relative pronouns. So those are the things you have come to know. Homework: recall the class and practice more and more. That will make you perfect. So here, thank you for listening. Thank you for patient listening. Spend some time again in listening and watching the video, and take down the notes, and you take down the important points and try to convert the story which I have given in this in this video. You pause the video there and try to convert that story into relative clauses. The sentences were given in very simple way. Simple sentences were given, but you have to convert them into relative clause. So I hope you will enjoy that exercise. Thank you for listening. We will meet in the next class. Until then, it's Salim Pasha signing off. Bye.